Now, here's the important bit. From a cybersecurity perspective, here are the responsibilities that directors need to understand. And if you're not a director yourself, you may or may not know this, but ultimately, while the day-to-day decisions are made by executives or the leadership of the management team, it is the directors who are ultimately responsible. So as the Australian Institute of Company Directors like to say, nose is in, thumbs out, meaning that directors should know as much as they possibly can without meddling in the day-to-day operations of a business. So the first thing, I make sure they understand the roles and responsibilities of both the leadership team and the board. So who's responsible for what? Remembering ultimately the responsibility lies with the directors. But it's important to name the people, and specifically around cybersecurity, who's the top person, who's their backup, etc. And then the next thing is to develop a comprehensive cyber security strategy. Now, I would say about 50% of the companies I talk to have started this process. But there are some that just haven't even thought about it, just in the too hard bastard, because it's so different to what they normally think about. And then the next thing is to embed cybersecurity into their risk management practices. Again, directors are all about risk. So it's all about controlling risk and mitigating against it. And so they obviously have to bring the right cybersecurity techniques into their risk management practices. And then the next thing is culture. That culture of cyber resilience, making sure that they understand that that's something that's got to permeate through the entire organisation. It's not just in one part, or it's with the tech guys or the CISO, for example. And then what happens if there's an incident? Are you thinking about how to respond? What are you doing to prepare for that incident? And then what are your obligations with regards to the regulatory environment? Are you thinking about those things? Stay informed, understand the threats that are out there. At that point, I tend to introduce the Australian Directorate. Some people get it, some people don't, or some people are already onto it, some people aren't. I talk about the partnership program, and for those that don't know, that partnership program is for partners, not for end customers. So it's for partners like yourselves, and I make sure that they engage third parties, regardless of whether or not they have a strong technology/cyber capability. I think it's an imperative for them that they engage third parties as that objective outsider looking in on their business. And then as a little sort of side note, I say one of the areas that I find a lot of organisations don't give enough attention to is offboarding. That's just a little bit of a sort of a giveaway for them to go and run with straight away.